Liberty Nation with Tim Donner.
The problem with having a closet full of skeletons is that once a hand or foot falls out and is seen, the rest are sure to be discovered sooner rather than later. When it comes to the Biden family closet, well, this past week of email reveals confirms what many have suspected for years. It's packed full, and try as they might, there's no pawning it off on the Russians. Those the words of James Fite, eloquent writer and editor-at-large for LibertyNation.com, who's been digging down deep on the scandal surrounding Hunter Biden, or more precisely the Biden family, spawned by a treasure trove of emails from the son of the Democratic presidential nominee discovered on a laptop left somehow unclaimed at a Delaware computer repair shop. And Jim joins us now with not the spin, but the basics of this and the facts, the things we know to be true or that have not been denied or found to be false. Jim, welcome back to Liberty Nation Radio.
Thanks, Tim. Yeah, that skeleton in the closet comparison came as I was watching the drip of emails. It was just one after another.
Indeed. So let's start with what's called provenance, or what the police call chain of custody. Can we be all but certain that this is Hunter Biden's laptop, that he was the one who brought it in for repair, and that the emails contained in it, several of which have been released, many of which have been released, are actual emails?
Well, there was some question initially, but, no one at Liberty Nation has had hands on this laptop or verified the emails. So I can't say, oh, I know 100% it's legitimate. But there's certainly more pointing to it being legitimate than not. Could it possibly be a hoax? Sure, but it would be an incredibly elaborate hoax. This guy in the computer repair shop in Delaware claims that someone claiming to be Hunter Biden dropped this laptop off and for some reason never came back to pick it up. He gave that to Rudy Giuliani, and he then turned over the laptop to local authorities in Delaware, and they turned it over to the FBI. And then, of course, he also gave copies to the New York Post.
Now, what about his signature on the work order at that computer repair shop? Is there any talk that the signature, which has been released, we've seen it in the media, any talk that was somehow forged or fake?
It doesn't seem like it was. And, in those emails, there were several people named, one of whom was Tony Bobulinski. He has since come out, well, since the allegations came out that it was some sort of a Russian disinformation ploy, he, who has served this country in the Navy, came out with a statement in the New York Post saying, hey, look, this is no Russian hoax. All that is true.
Do we have any explanation at all for why Hunter Biden would have left a laptop with all those incriminating or damning emails unclaimed for over a year when his father was running for president? It almost seems as if he left it there on purpose.
Well, it could be a cry for help situation. We know he was battling addiction, and sometimes people in bad situations do those sort of things to get the attention that they need to get help. On the other hand, some have speculated that maybe it wasn't Hunter Biden himself, but someone in his circle who all of a sudden decided they weren't pals anymore. Oh, I spilled a drink on your laptop. Let me get that fixed for you. A perfect setup. I mean, there's... Mm-hmm. It seems far less likely that the laptop and emails themselves are fake. And if anything isn't legit, that it would be maybe someone else dropped it off.
So go through for us, Jim, as you did in your coverage of this on LibertyNation.com, the email messages which Americans should find the most troubling.
Okay, well, to break it down, there's, I've said it, Graham Noble has said it, people in other news outlets have said it. The Hunter Biden's behavior specifically isn't what should alarm the electorate. What should alarm the electorate is that these emails seem to prove that Joe Biden did in fact allow his son to sell access to him to foreign influencers. And, as I said in my first piece on this topic, the most important questions we can ask here are, if that's true, what did Joe Biden give them that was worth all those millions of dollars to his son as vice president of the United States? What could make that much money spent worthwhile? And more relevant to the election itself, as opposed to past deeds, if he was willing to do that under President Obama's nose as the vice president, if assuming all of this is true, then what will he sell our potential enemies as actual president? Hunter Biden's job was to make connections with his father. That was, that's the only thing he brought to the company, really.
Jim, thanks for staying on this story. I know you will continue to. I appreciate you joining us.
Thank you, Tim.
Jim Fite, editor-at-large at LibertyNation.com.
Read all about it.
Election 2020 Big Bottom Flash Reports are coming. On election night, at the bottom of every hour, LibertyNation.com will give you Election Night 2020, 90 seconds at a time, with our Big Bottom Flash Reports. You'll get the drop with our one-stop shop. Tune into LibertyNation.com on election night for our Big Bottom Flash Reports, at the bottom of every hour. LibertyNation.com.